Gathered friends, listen again to a new legend of the Squadron. In the time before this time, a powerful alien force was on course to this precious world of ours, and only a select few of us learned about it when an alien starship crashed in Victoria in 1925. It was there that we learned that an infinite expanse of void and shadows surrounds the shelter of our world. Be it only inevitable that the two would eventually merge, be it yet ill-starred that the dark must come crashing down in vicious grace. We built up a foreign legion military force to counter the aliens when they would arrive. 10 years ago, they began to strike. The day our sky fell, the heavens split to create new skies. Thanks to our foreign legion, and weapons derived from that starship, our world managed to prevail. Then, as the years progressed, so did the war. There were many more victories and defeats. More heroes, villains, battles, and achievements came and passed. Eventually, we managed to save not only our world, but also the many other stars of the galaxy from this force of darkness. It was an era of astounding endeavors and battles for the ages, with legends and stories to tell for countless generations. Now, with the turn of the decade, all of it is now history. New legends awake, but old lessons must be remembered. For challenges never stop evolving, and neither do we. What will this new journey lead to? I do not know. First of all, I'm meeting an old friend, one who I've known since the early stages. It's time to head to a mysterious faraway land that served a central role in these past wars. In spite of our many victories, the scars of the invasion still run deep. Many human lives were lost, entire infrastructure collapsed, and a widespread humanitarian crisis quickly developed as refugees lost their homes. The political instability from the impacts lasted for years and inevitably resulted in the Stroken War of 2015 and the Iron Wars of 2016 and 2018. Most recently, of course, was the Second Pacific War between the People's Republic of China and the rest of the Pacific. Only 2 months ago, our allied forces stormed Guangdong, Liaoning, Shanghai, and Shandong provinces. The war ended when America's new stealth bomber and the famed Star Eagle Squadron destroyed the president's bunker near Beijing. Then a coalition of American and Chinese planes destroyed the Rainbird airship and the 2 experimental drones guarding the International Space Elevator in Singapore. A new, more democratic government was established in Beijing. Whether it will be for the better or not remains to be seen. At home, my focus is on the places that were once the battlefields. Especially this one, the Subornan Island, the mystical land hidden in the Pacific that housed many strange and marvelous secrets. This tropical island was once home to an alien outpost, an experimental facility from ages ago. Today there are still remnants of their alterations as the ecosystem developed around them. During the alien invasion and Korak War of the 2010s, the inhabitants came forward, the Roboraptors. They possessed the knowledge and resources that were indispensable to our victory. Greetings, Oliver. How are you doing?
Salutations, James. I was hoping you'd arrive.
Anything to help, my old friend.
It has been a wild adventure, hasn't it?
Well, it is good to know that a new dawn is on the horizon. Not just for you, but for me and many others as well.
How do you plan to start the first chapter of this story?
After this, I will go do some more training as part of a private military company.
And where do you plan to venture after that?
I will start the journey to return to the wide arid plains of Queensland. Back home.
And what is the next step?
Space, exploration, warfare, all a part of our new mission. Then I got other stuff to worry about. Real pain is what they tell me. But I'm actually feeling pretty good about this.
That is really good to know. You have all grown up, young fella.
Oh yes.
As you can see, there is much healing for this planet to do. These past dark times have taken a serious toll.
Indeed. Just last month, the three-headed dragon, King Ghidorah, and his followers rose from the shadows and conducted a crusade against our forces. Ghidorah destroyed many of our homes and came so close to ending us all. Our chosen one, Taj Takanuva, the warrior of light, had to make the ultimate sacrifice to finally destroy the alien dragon once and for all.
Indeed, we are all still feeling the effects of Ghidorah's wrath, not just you. The storms he caused over the Pacific have not gone away, nor has a series of volcanic eruptions across the Ring of Fire. My home has sustained much hurt from warfare and apocalypse. Many islands here have. Those struck by the nuclear fire at least are quick speeding to recovery, but ours is not. Ours lies dead, struck by the dragon of the void. Nothing is left to prosper from its sacred ground, but it will forever be sacred, whatever it takes.
There was another of this dragon species, Shukong Ghidorah. This time a monstrous entity that took the form of a golden three-headed dragon and inhabited the void between dimensions, emerging to consume countless worlds throughout the millennia. It emerged when Project 10, a fiendish group of scientists from the Vrabag Foundation, manipulated a group of desperate survivors into praying for Shukong to come forth. Their manipulation succeeded, and this Ghidorah arrived into this dimension, promptly killing the majority of both human sides before turning his wrath against the island. Realizing that he would destroy the Earth itself along with the island, Oliver and his human friends managed to sever Project 10's link to Shukong Ghidorah, allowing the Raptors to fight back and destroy Ghidorah of the Void as he succumbed to our laws of physics.
There are still monsters lurking around. By the will of the great being who lives under the island, the great Kaitiaki Nui, I had to make a sacrifice to bear the power to finally defeat this nemesis. But in the end, that monster did not achieve his goal of consuming us. We still live, and as for our home, we found a new one. One where we will prosper for all eternity. A new home? Where? There are others of our kind out in the stars. They found their homes in the worlds they were abandoned on. So was the duty of the great Kaitiaki Nui to send messages out to them and unite us under one alliance. Our selected capital, Silva Nui, is a world of boundless forest and lush paradise. It will be time to leave this world behind.
That does seem like a worthy next step to this island, and to this ocean, and to this planet.
Out there awaits a new one. One where we are free and forever striving for greater things.
But what happens if another event like the invasion begins?
Fear not, my friend. There will be another chosen one. With the warrior of light's passing, another shall rise, but only when it is found.
Oh my gosh. Could it be one of us?
Only those who know of the power stand a chance at finding it. It could be any one of you. They just need to ignite the spark.
Yes.
Oh. It is time for me to go now.
What?
To ascend. To leave the mortal world.
But Oliver, isn't it a little too early to leave?
The power surge was too much. I had sacrificed my well-being and my life to save my people. But it was a sacrifice I was all too willing to make. Now I shall be their guiding light on their new quest.
Time for you to ascend?
Yes, but it is only the next step. My spirit will be in us all.
Please, Oliver. We can't leave now.
I have fulfilled my place in leading my people to victory. They hailed me as a warrior who led the way to victory during the Great War. But we all have to make the sacrifice at the journey's end. It is okay, James. To the well-organized mind, death is but the next great adventure. The goal isn't to live forever. The goal is to create something that will.
I know, but I don't understand why my other friends are leaving. Taj, Vita, Chris, they're all ascending. But why not me? Why am I still here?
You can only find the answer for yourself. But I suppose you have another destiny. That one is not written in stone, my friend. You will find it for yourself. You must believe. Not all are gone, James. There are others. Remember me. It was the highest honor to be on this journey with you. Now, my friend, go out into the new world, but always remember the old.
I will.
Au revoir, mon ami.
The ships are taking flight. These Raptor-class starships will embark on a journey to the stars. On this quest, the Raptors aim to rediscover territory lost to them for countless millennia. They will be the pilgrims in faraway worlds. One of those ships even plans to go beyond charted regions. The Great Raptor Alliance has been created. Though some Raptors will remain to live on the island, the departing ships signal the end of a magnificent era. Sometimes it was breathtaking, and sometimes it was challenging. But even as the darkness closed in, we fought back and prevailed together. Ultimately, though, if we stay in the past, we will never truly be in the present. So while it's sad to say goodbye to this era, it will only serve an opportunity for another to rise. One story ends, another begins. Goodbye, my friend, and thank you. Several days later, I would receive more fighter pilot training. Ascender Air Defense and Security, a private military company rising high to answer the call of maintaining law and order. I was assigned to the 4th Aviation Regiment, Sentry Squadron, as Sentry 04, flying a starfighter from the boneyard. The primary mission of Ascender was escorting aid and rescue aircraft through the raging bushfires that scorched our country. We were supplied by Yastreb Silver Enterprises. Thanks to their advanced automated aviation plant in New South Wales, ordering and acquiring aircraft was still quite easy. Then, our moment of truth came when during a training mission in the Gulf, we were ambushed by mercenary-operated fighter drones that infiltrated our airspace through faking IFFs and replicating appearance. It was there that I took the initiative again, and we fought back with our own planes. We were no longer a ragtag group of civilian birds flying planes from the scrapyard, but a full-on fighter squadron. From there, we explored deep into the skies and streets of Townsville. It turns out not all had settled just yet. Our arch-enemy was the Liberate Australia Force, an ultra-nationalist armed extremist group led by a deranged woman from Rasmussen. The large weapons stockpiles after the war had made a breeding ground for these groups. We were training ourselves to fight against these monsters in their resulting insurgency. For the first time in a long time, I've had time to settle and focus on my dreams. But sooner or later, you always have to move on. Up ahead was Malkara. I've flown through these skies many times and traveled this land many more. But now, it definitely feels new and different.
Are we there yet? Yeah, we're there, mate. We're there.
Last year, following the Red Winter Plague and the Second Iron War, the Australian government experienced a massive disruption. Facing an impending recession, massive tax cuts were ordered. Joint Airbase Malkara had suffered dearly as a result, and was soon to be a desolate scrapyard, while the Air Force squadrons moved forward to other bases. Following the attack on Singapore and the Second Pacific War, the Queensland state government and those loyal to the Labour Party despised Malkara for its housing of Sky Masters and tried everything it could to hamper operations. Eventually its campaign against us was overruled by the Supreme Court, and we finally had some more breathing space. Our victory in the war gained more public support, which was really needed. With the Pacific War over and China accepting the surrender terms, it was time to start anew. We now enjoy peace and prosperity and opportunity to build, as we have with what is now Windhover Industrial Spaceport. Known in the past services as Joint Airbase Malkara and Soren Industrial Airport, its new name was in honor of Chris Nedford Windhover of the Star Raiding Squadron, a renowned ace pilot of legendary acclaim and determination beyond measure. It is now home of the Aerospace Strike Force, the Test Center, the Australian Test Pilot School, and Sky Masters' Flight Research Center. It is also the IAR Air Force Material Command Center for conducting and supporting research and development of flight, as well as testing and evaluating aerospace systems from concept to combat. It will soon host many test activities conducted by the military and commercial aerospace industry. Notable occurrences in Malkara include the primary defense line across the invasion, the many long-range missions of the Strike Force, the siege of the Shires in Iron War I, and the testing of many aircraft and weaponry that were vital on the front lines.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Windhover Industrial Spaceport. And for some of you, welcome to the joint Taranis Skymasters Tactical Aerospace Squadron. You are not in paradise anymore. You are in dreamland, ladies and gentlemen. Respect that fact every second of every day. Beyond that sky, many things of human origin or otherwise want to hunt you down and kill you quickly if they're feeling merciful. Many of you have indeed signed up knowing that. But if there is a hell, you might want to think about going there for some R&R after a tour with Taranis. As commander, it is my duty to keep you alive. I may not succeed, nor with all of you on my own. You are to work together in squadrons and teams to find whatever enemy awaits in the void and make sure it does not bring harm to those that we have been assigned to protect. Now that the war is over, and in response to the destruction it has left in its wake, Australia, America, and many other nations are conducting plans for a space exploration operation. They will go out into space, retrieve the minerals that we currently need to survive, and deliver it to this planet. Some of the rookie squadron members are already here, and they have been training vigorously. This will be an adventure like no other. That will be all. Good luck and Godspeed to all of you in the coming days. Dismissed. As I live and breathe, the remorseful ace himself.
What can I say?
Been a while since Poland, hasn't been, my friend?
Didn't shoot funny long. Where the hell have you been?
All over the place, fighting a giant dragon from space.
Haven't we all?
So I hear that you took part in the final Battle of Singapore.
Indeed. Yeah. It was a bloodbath, my friend.
Yeah, but no job was too hard for the American squadron, was it?
I went through the job like butter.
And now the space elevator is strictly neutral territory.
And let's hope it stays that way this time.
Oh yeah. Afternoon, gentlemen. Nice to see you in your natural habitat again. That was a fun day of training out there. I wish you could have seen some of those maneuvers those chicks pulled off. Anyway, I left them to train further under Sea Fury 1. Knowing him, he'll be pushing them to their limits right now. Whoa, Garuda 3's got engine trouble.
That's not good.
Alamer Skyhawk is wounded. This is Second Lieutenant Alexander Windhover, the next generation of the Windhover family. Born in Prairie and formerly an Abrams tank gunner in the Iron War, with experience flying combat UAVs, Taranis has recruited him as an air assault specialist. He knows his way to any kind of machine. Give him enough time, and he can make an orange crate do barrel rolls. Oh, damn it! Fun out there! You alright, man? You alright, man?
And finding that little bit so that's some kings in it.
Well, they are still scrapyard planes after all. Nevertheless, you still managed to qualify for being a space plane pilot.
You're gonna value your life.
Value your life and it'll last you a lifetime.
Alright, fill it up. I'm gonna head back out there now.
Well, hold your horses, Lieutenant. We are not at war anymore. We also have some new members that have yet to come in. Most notably, 2nd Lieutenant Paulina Tobias, call sign Wolf. Former Polish Army, having participated in the reserves during the border skirmishes last year. She was picked up by Commander Langham and President Vilk to train for this squadron. She's had to start from the bottom up in terms of fighter training. I got a feeling for the foreseeable future she's going to be your backseater.
My backseater.
Another guy's coming in.
Hey, Omega, nice landing.
Oh no, I bet it sucks to be you, huh? Well, in Omega's case, it's just another day on the job.
This happened frequently.
Hey, sorry, Omega, but it's time for a new plane. Oh, come on! I haven't even had the damn thing for a month! A British Pakistani Typhoon pilot from the invasion. One of the 220 named aces of 2014, he had a reputation for being shot down the most. More so than me. And I still have the record of 10. Well, gentlemen, for the majority of you, that concludes your test. You managed to pass. Omega managed to pass barely.
Basic.
His flying is good. It's his landing that he needs to improve on. So, I shall be taking him in the space plane. First, well, you will be Paulina's opponent while she qualifies.
I'm gonna get food barred.
Yes, you sure are. It'll be an interesting start, won't it?
Yeah.
Remorse, you will be on your first mission. Should be interesting in the herd of McDonald Islands. I hear they're lovely this time of year. Well, that far out, you won't have to worry about bad guys.
Fingers crossed.
Well, alright, gentlemen, we're getting closer.
And they're off. Remorse is on his far-reaching quest to the Indian Ocean, Paulina in her final practical flight test, and Omega in the spacecraft. Our space plane, the S-17, is a Sky Masters-designed license-built version of the Lockheed SR-72. A hypersonic craft intended for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. Its development sped up significantly during the invasion. It will succeed the retired SR-71 Blackbird. Soon our squadron will be complete. We'll be ready to launch into space. What awaits in the void this time, I do not yet know, but we'll soon find out. All systems check out, Omega. Ready for the next phase? I think I am, Ibis. Then let's go for it. Garuda 4, commencing orbital insertion burn. Welcome to space, Omega. Alright, now this is bloody awesome. Mind you, Wedgetail's got a good deal himself. Soon he'll be sipping martinis in Silver Sun's floating city with the Top Gun of New Zealand. It's not what you think, man. Yeah, I know. I know what you'd get up to there. Oh, you should critique someone else's party style when drinks aren't on you for one night. You got me there.
Now there is no turning back. Let the new adventure begin.
Ito, hindi na siya